Hello, welcome to Yoga for Love. This is our 2019 New Year's Detox Yoga Flow, and I'm Lisa Ware. I'm really excited about this class today, and so we're going to follow up this class with a vision board and affirmation creation workshop, which will be on my business Facebook page, Lisa Ware Yoga for Love. So just hop on over and like that page real quick, that way you know when we go live for the vision board workshop. Today we are going to be focusing on the beginning of a brand new course that I'm going to be doing, and it's called Goddesses of Vision and Action. So this is our kickoff for our new year. This is a kickoff for this course, and you can get some really amazing free bonus gifts that will help you to get started in a huge jump start for your new year. And this is on my website. It's a little button that you just click, and it says click for Goddesses of Vision of Action, and it's on yogaforlove.com. You're going to need those downloads as well for the affirmation and vision board workshop that we're doing later. So jump on over there, click that button. It's going to email you that link that's going to send you the downloads so you can grab those and get started with your vision boards and your creation of your goals for the new year. Today for our yoga class, we're going to need 2 blocks. You might need a blanket to sit on if you want to elevate your hips. Definitely get some water. Don't make it too cold. Here we have far infrared, so it's hot yoga. I would recommend your yoga being in a space that's heated and not too cold, because it helps to get your energy moving, your blood flowing, and also really helps to detox. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce you to my assistant today. This is Katrina. And so Katrina is a part of our Yoga for Love online training program. She's about 2/3 through her training program, and she's going to be demoing today. As you can hear, if you've watched any of my YouTubes before, you probably can tell that I have some allergies today. So I'm not going to be doing any inversions, and I'm going to be kind of talking as I move through some of the class today, and she's going to be demoing the whole class, so you can watch her to see what your posture might look like, and she's going to offer also modifications and ways to express your posture a little bit deeper. So I want to thank all of you in the studio for being here. Thank you so much for coming this New Year's. It's so good to see familiar faces and new faces. And so we're going to get started on our mat with our pranayama, our breath. And so if you do have a blanket next to you, you can grab your blanket and sit on the folded edge of the blanket. That's if your knees kind of sit up high when you're sitting crisscross. If your knees sit up high, definitely you can take a blanket. These are wonderful to have in your practice. And you're going to sit on the folded edge and just let your hips kind of drop off the forward side of the blanket. And you might even sit on 2 blankets or use a meditation cushion. Would anyone else like a blanket? Okay. And so you can use that. You can go. Thank you. For your practice. And if your knees just naturally drop open like Katrina's do, you might not want a blanket. But you can start with that, and then you can move it out if you don't need it. I'm going to turn our music down just a touch. And we're going to start with our breath. So we're going to take a moment here to connect to our breath. I'm going to pause that until we get ready for our flow. And so today is the new moon. Even if you're watching this in the future, you can really connect to your new moon intentions. But for those of us that are present right here in this present moment, we have just wrapped up a full 2-week cycle from the new moon and winter solstice. And for many of us, it's been really intense. I don't know if many of you have experienced the intensity of this last transformational period, but there's a lot of chaos in our family life, in our home life, in our political life, in our society. And internally, that creates chaos. So we have to have practices that ground us and root us and help us to really tap down. And so since that is kind of the theme for this year right now, I'd like to invite you to just tap into your intentions for your practice. And that starts with our music and our mind and our mindset and whatever it takes to kind of get us into that practice. Music will immediately transform you, and Katrina can speak to that because she's a professional singer. And it immediately snaps you into a place of a different part of your brain being active. Is there anything you want to share maybe about that?
Yeah, it's coming from one of the chakras, the one that deals with our communication with others and with the world. And so when you tap tap into that chakra, you feel the power of it, and it's a healing kind of a thing for me. That's why I sing. It's a calling, a service, and I think of it as my giving, and it totally, completely heals me through times of turmoil, and I know it helps others through times of turmoil. So, I mean, I actually sing a lot of funerals because I enjoy being able to give that service. So it's something I can provide for healing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful service, and it takes a very strong woman to sing through a funeral without getting emotional, I'm sure.
Oh, well, there's times that I'm like, I have to think of like the grocery list or something, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to totally fall apart. But then I try to remember that it's not about me.
Right. Yeah, and I like your shirt. It says, cannot phase me, and it has the phase of the moon. So it's perfect for the new moon. So new moon is really all about setting intention, and that's what we're going to be working on in our vision board workshop later on my Facebook Live. But today, I want you to kind of maybe try to start to think of a word or two words that come to your heart that you want to use for your theme for this year. And it may not be clear at the end of this practice. It may be really clear at the end of this practice. But I invite you to really start thinking about what that looks like for you, what that kind of summary of what you really want to create for this year is going to be, and then just embody that through your practice. And even if you're brand new to the practice of yoga, the postures themselves are super transformative. And so we're going to begin with pranayama, which is very simple. And we're just going to start with a very easy breath today, which is the alternate nostril breathing. So we have naturally just found our breath. And Thich Nhat Hanh has a really great, wonderful breathing technique. And it's just so simple. And I'm going to just summarize because it is so simple. And he is just the epitome of Buddhist wisdom. And so the very easiest way just to really tap in is just to sit and ground. And then just drop into your body. Like, just be here. Just be present. And so take a moment just to kind of drop in wherever you're at and embody your energy. Feel it in your belly and rising out through your torso, and begin to just really feel your energy body. And then just notice what your breath is doing without really shaping it. Let your spine get tall. And we're not going to look up, but we're just going to let our chin be relaxed. Then we're going to relax our shoulders away from our ears so that the spine has a little bit of space between the vertebrae. If you feel any kind of discomfort, go ahead and adjust, because you're not, sitting here just because you have the discipline of sitting here. You're sitting here so you can find your intention. And if you're distracted and your leg is hurting or whatever, move around. If you also can't see me, go ahead and scoot where you can see me, and that might make your practice a little easier so you can see myself and Katrina both. So we're just going to do alternate nostril breathing, and to utilize this practice, we're going to take our right hand, we're going to lift our elbow out and up, we're going to curl down the first and the second finger. So we're going to just not use those fingers. The symbol of fire and the symbol of, what is it? The fire finger is your middle finger, and then the symbol of just too much strength. So we don't want to use those really strong, dominant fingers. We're going to use our weaker fingers. And the mudra is called Deer Mudra, or Nrigdi Mudra. And so if you did like this and you made a little shadow and there was a light shining in it, it would look like a little deer. So that's how I remember it. And you can kind of curl your fingers to go from left to right to left to right. Or you can keep your hand open. If your fingers feel like they're kind of getting in the way, you can just touch your two fingers to your third eye. And then just close off with the thumb and the ring finger. We're just going to alternate that way. So to demo, we're going to use our opposite hand. And so if you are a part of my training program, feel free to comment on the video and just share your practice of your breath and how that's helped you gain your perspective on your daily practices and your daily sadhana. And you can share that in the comments. So we're going to go ahead and just close off our right nostril with our right thumb. We're going to just breathe in all the way into our belly. Again, dropping deep down into our body and down into the earth. Pause at the top of your breath. And then close off with your ring finger, still keeping the ribs up and open, and exhale. If you want to take a mudra to your other hand, you can take Jnana Mudra, the symbol of wisdom, index finger to thumb. Breathe in the same side, breathing in through the the right. Close off and exhale through the left. Inhaling the same side. Let your belly get nice and full. Notice if your belly remains tight. Exhale out the other side. We're going to do one more cycle. And exhale it out. Inhale the same side. And exhale all the way. Now for those of you that might have some allergy magic going on, I recommend just clearing your nose. If you like a tissue, go ahead and grab that. You have a tissue? So clear out your nose so you can have a nice strong practice. It is winter, so you want to focus on that and just get your breath nice and strong. I'm going to keep the tissues up here in case you need them. So we're going to move into all fours position. So go ahead and move into hands and knees. I'm going to start up some music here. We're going to begin to take the next 50 minutes to really bring our energy up. About 45 minutes, actually. We're going to start with a little MC yogi today. So we're going to inhale into cow, lift the heart, lift the tail, open the chest, then we exhale into cat and round the back, curl the head, tuck the tail, let the head drop. Inhale, opening the chest, lift the heart, coming into cow, exhale, round the back, tuck the head, curl the tail, and come into cat, squeeze it out. Again, inhaling into cow, let the ribs drop, span the shoulders away from your ears and look up, and then exhale, round the back, curl the head, tuck the tail, look all the way under the body, squeeze it out. We'll do one more cycle into cow and cat on your own breath, and begin to just kind of move the hips and shoulders side to side, creating a spiral motion. And then exhale back into a neutral spine. Let's go ahead and reach the right hand forward, left heel back, coming into spinal stability today. And flex through your heel, pulling your toe back towards you. And push back through your back heel, letting your heel get no higher than your hip. Good, expand through the fingertips and spread out your fingers. Turn your thumb to face the sky and your palm to face sideways. And that's going to help to open some space between the shoulder and the ear. Hold here, one more breath. We're going to exhale, we're going to flow, elbow to knee, curling the elbow past the knee to the middle of your body. Inhale, extend into your spinal stability. Exhale, curl it in, tuck the head, squeeze it out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl it in, round the back, bring your elbow maybe even past your knee. Inhale, reach, one more. Exhale, curling it in, bringing it all the way past the midline of your body. Inhale, extend, exhale, back to all fours. Inhale into cow, opening the chest, opening the shoulders, looking up, and then exhale, round the back, curl the head, tuck the tail, look under. Inhale, come back into our center, and just kind of settle into your hands, settle into your knees. Make sure your hips are centered above the knees. The heel of your hand is right beneath the shoulders. So you're not reaching or out to the side, and you're stacking your joints, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Next breath, left hand forward, right heel back, opposite side, and spread out the fingers. Flex with a dorsiflexion. You can see how she's pressing her heel back toward the little cabinet with the blocks in it. And so that's going to help to extend through your calf muscle, and then spread out those fingers and balance here for a few moments. Breath in and breath out. Gaze forward, bring your head down a little bit so you're looking about 2 feet in front of your mat. One more breath, exhale, bring it down. Inhale, go ahead and come back to your spinal balance and reach. And then we're going to come into our cross the body curl and squeeze it out. There you go. So see if you can even bring the elbow past the knee, like you're coming across. Yeah, and then reach. So when you cross the midline of the body, it really helps with that neuroplasticity and restructuring those grooves in the brain. Inhale, reach, and really kind of even twist across as you squeeze it out, and then reach. Let's do 2 more on your own breath, squeezing it out, curl it across, and then reach, and then exhale back into a neutral spine. Let's take about 3 breaths here in your cat and cow, stimulating all the energy points, all the chakras. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. And just moving with your breath, kind of roll those hips and shoulders side to side as you roll up into cow. And then exhale into cat, and just curl the head, the neck, and the shoulders, and just let the head drop out. Let's come into an active child's pose. Reach forward, bring your knees underneath you, and tuck your toes underneath you as well. Spread out the fingers. So our knees are not super wide here, they're more just kind of the size of your body, and your ball of your foot is pressing into the mat. See how Katrina has kind of pulled her toes underneath her? And so that's going to have to push and ground into the earth, which is what we call Pada Bandha, grounding your feet into the earth, and then Hasta Bandha, we're going to ground our hands into the earth. So she's spreading out her fingers here, kind of like a starfish, and really connecting to the ground. Elbows are off the ground. Now I do notice that some of y'all have electronic equipment on your body. Please try to take those off during your practices and give yourself a frequency break. So Apple Watches, Fitbits, all that stuff. Make sure your phone is even out of your practice space and on airplane or off. And that's going to really help to reset. You can go back in and log your fitness later, but this is more about an energy reset, not a fitness practice, right? This is your practice of yoga. This is mind, body, spirit, connecting, grounding into the earth, Balasana. Let your head relax all the way between your arms. It may or may not touch the ground, but your elbows are lifted and the head is relaxed. Still active. Make sure your fingertips are not hanging off the end of your mat. So if they are, kind of scoot yourself down a little bit so that when you do extend your arms fully, you're engaged all the way into your mat with Hasta Bandha. And then from here, we're going to practice coming up into a downward facing dog, but don't go there yet, because habitually a lot of times we'll come into a box shape, and then we'll push back to the shoulders and come into that triangle shape. So Katrina's going to kind of demo how to come up into your down dog using the turbo dog. So she's using her core all the way up. And then we're going to just lower the knees slightly and come halfway down. So she's keeping that long line of energy from the elbow to the shoulder, to the hip, to the knee as she comes up with her breath, straightening the legs, then exhale, lowering. And just try this to your own capacity. You may come all the way up to your down dog and then just bend the knees a little bit on your exhales, or you may come all the way down, almost back to child's pose on your exhale. So go ahead and come all the way up into your downward facing dog. Use your core, and then exhale, lower the knees just a little bit, maybe a lot. Inhale, lift all the way up into Adho Mukha, downward facing. And then exhale, lower just a little bit. But if you notice yourself coming forward as you lower, don't come down so far. Keep that core engaged. Inhale, downward facing dog, and exhale, what we call turbo dog, just really engaging that core. It's kind of between a child's pose and a down dog. And this is just kind of a fun way to really get that energy flowing, get that movement in the body and increase the blood flow. Again, just bend the knees just a little bit. If you feel like you have to come all the way down, don't do that. Just enough to give yourself an activation to your core. 2 more breaths here from down dog to turbo dog on your own breath. You're doing great. Inhale, let's lift the right foot, lift the leg all the way up and bend the knee and open the hip. Bring your heel towards your opposite hip and look out underneath your right armpit. Coming into 3-legged dog, kick it back up, and then exhale, bringing it down. Inhale, lift the left, bend the knee, open the hip, and spin, looking out underneath that left armpit. Nice, strong, straight arms. Keep those shoulders open, kick it back up, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. Let's do that one more time. Each side, inhale, right leg lifts. Open the hip and roll the hips open to the side, taking a nice strong stance, kick it back up. Big inhale, exhaling it down. Inhale, lift your left, bend the knee, open the hip, and breathe, kick it back up. Exhale, bringing it down. Inhale, look forward between your thumbs. Walk, hop, or jump to forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, lift halfway, and then exhale, fold in half. Head, neck, and shoulders drop down. You can grab opposite elbows here if you'd like, or you can even rest your chest on your thighs and bend your knees. And let your head drop out. So there's lots of variations to your forward fold today. If you want to find a full ragdoll, you just let the arms drop all the way up and let them dangle. If you have some allergy magic going on like I do here, just come up to a halfway lift and just keep your head level with your heart. And just breathe here. Allow yourself again to tap down into the earth. We're going to bend the knees and then take the arms out to the side. Reverse swan dive up, come all the way up into standing. And exhale, hands come down by our sides. Come up to the top of our mat and bring our feet to shoulder distance. Just right down beneath our hips. Not a an at-ease stance, but just a nice stance that supports your body. We're going to spread out the fingers and activate the hands, and then lift up and out through the heart center and the crown of the head. So this is Tadasana. Activating the feet, we're going to tiny bit lift up the ball of the toes, and let the ball beneath your toes, right where the metatarsals connect, ground down. So there's a point of energy beneath your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. And ground down to those 3 points of energy. And then just relax your toes, but just notice whenever your toes start to grip during your practice, and then just relax those again. Let's reach all the way up. Big breath in, nice reach. Exhale, take a back bend and open that heart, leaning back, maybe even let the head drop back. You can even press the palms together. Excellent. And then bring our hands to our heart center. And coming into the top of our mat, coming into our starting posture, Samastitihi. This is steady and strong. It's the balance of stira and sukha, the balance of both activation and relaxation. And this is what in our master teacher's lineage of Krishnamacharya, this is what we call our starting posture, or Samastitihi. So you're going to come up to the top of your mat where you have the whole length of your mat behind you. And go ahead and bring your feet together. It may feel a little awkward, but try to bring your toes to touch if possible. And if you're a little bit bow-legged, your feet might not touch all the way, but just bring them as close as you can. And then you're going to bring the heels a little bit further than the toes. So you're almost a tiny bit pigeon-toed. That's going to allow some space on the back of your thighs. And then just roll the inner thigh forward. And that really wraps those large muscles around your legs. Your femurs get gripped with those quads. And then you can ground deep down into the earth. Take a moment to set your intention. So I know we're about 15 minutes into our practice, and this might be a good time for you to really just tap in to what that word might be that you're tapping into for this next year, for this next season, for maybe even these next 2 weeks. And you may not have it, but you may have that feeling. So what does that feeling feel like? And you may identify it later. So it may just come to you later. The new moon is actually at 7 p.m. Central. So we have a little bit ways to go, and today is actually a partial lunar eclipse. So when the moon covers up the sun a little bit, a partial solar eclipse, so when the moon covers up the sun even just a little bit, the feminine energy comes through. And so this is a really, really receptive time. So let's go ahead and move right into Surya Namaskar. So we're going to reach all the way up, sun salutation. Exhale, right foot back, stepping back into Warrior One. Breathing here. On the exhale, spin the hips and shoulders open into Virabhadrasana, Warrior Two, and open the hips and shoulders down the long side of your mat. Maybe step a little deeper down your mat. Inhale, taking that left palm up toward the heavens and open through that left side body. Exhale, right back into Warrior Two, arms long and wide. Inhale, let's come into side angle. It's resting that front forearm on the thigh. Taking a nice long reach, right hand comes up and over the ears. Spin that palm in the face behind you and open the space between the shoulder and the ear. Maybe even step that right foot deeper down your mat and breathe. Inhale, reach up, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles as you come up, and then exhale back, Warrior Two, gazing forward, finding a strong drishti, something to focus on right in front of you. On the next breath in, take a reverse warrior. We're going to exhale and windmill down into our first lunge and pivot that right heel, coming into a runner's lunge. Excuse me. Breathe here, step back to a full plank. Hips, shoulders, knees, straight as a board, Plankasana. Exhale, bend just the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, turn your toes or keep your toes tucked and open the chest, coming into our upward facing dog. Exhale, tucking the toes under, hips to the sky, soften the knees and lift, downward facing dog. Inhale here. On the exhale, walk, hop, or jump into a forward fold. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lengthening halfway. Exhale, fold in half. Now remember, you can stay here in forward fold anytime you want to. You can come into mountain pose anytime you want to. You can come into your child's pose anytime you'd like to rest. So instead of taking a down dog, you can take a child's pose. Any variations for you will work for you. We're going to move through the sun salutations a little faster. So rest whenever you need to. Listen to your body. Don't worry about the practice that I'm calling out. I'm going to invite you to stop and rest whenever you need to. Take a reverse swan dive. Reach all the way up. Take that deep back bend. Hands together, opening. And then exhale, hands come to the heart. Feet together at the top of our mat. Coming back to Surya Namaskar, we're going to move to the other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, step that left foot back into Warrior One. Breathe in here, spread out the fingers, then open the hips and shoulders down the long side of our mat into Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, turn our right palm up toward the sky and sink into that right knee as we open the right side body. Exhaling back into Warrior 2. Inhale here. On our exhale, coming into our side angle. Front forearm's going to rest on the thigh, and then spin that left arm up and over. Spiral the pinky to face slightly down and open the space between that shoulder and the ear. Step your left foot a little deeper down your mat. Inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, use your root lock back to Warrior 2. Inhale, right palm up, take a reverse warrior, and then windmill your way down and into your lunge, pivoting that left heel. Hold for a breath. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, lower halfway, or you can drop the knees and coming halfway down. Inhale, coming into either a Cobra or an upward facing dog. Now, she's an upward facing dog here, but Cobra, you're going to just lower your hips all the way onto the ground, and you're not going to straighten the arms. You're just going to soften the arms without pushing. Back to your downward facing dog, or you can take the opportunity to move into child's pose. Let's take 3 breaths here, either child's pose or downward facing dog on your own breath. In and out through the nose. So I'm going to adjust you just a little bit here. So we're collapsing the shoulders. We're just going to open this position here. There we go. Right there. Beautiful. Breathe here. Let's take that right leg up to the sky. Inhale, roll the knee open and lift, looking out underneath the right armpit. Exhale, kick it up and setting it down. Inhale, lift the left. 3-legged dog, other side, and spin open to that side body. Big stretch and reach through the chest. Kick it up. And exhale down. Inhale, look between your thumbs. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your body. Exhale, fold in half. And again, we're just going to have the opportunity to stay in your forward fold if you'd like to for a whole cycle. You can come back and rest in your mountain pose, or you can move through your next series of Surya Namaskar. Reaching out and up. Big breath in, take that back bend and open the chest. Maybe even look back this time. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Feet together, back to the top of the mat, return to Samastitihi. As we come back to our starting pose again, feet together, intention set, eyes closed or soft gaze, and again, find whatever you're creating in your life in this cycle right now. What does that feel like for you? Is it more joy, truth, passion? Yeah, I see you nodding. Yes, whatever that looks like for you. And take a moment to hold that in your heart as we move through this Surya Namaskar. Now we kind of know where we're going, so we're not going to really take any pauses for the next few cycles. Just keep that intention in your heart, okay? Reach up, take your back bend. Inhale. Exhale back to heart center. Inhale, reach up, coming into a strong Utthita Hastasana, far-reaching mountain, and step that right foot back into Warrior One. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, open the hips and shoulders into Virabhadrasana 2. And drop into the legs. Inhale, right palm to the sky, reverse warrior. Opening the right side body, exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, coming into our side angle, Paraskolkonasana, either forearm to the thigh or hand to the ground, and reach up and over, big breath in. Exhale, back to Vira 2. Inhale, take your reverse warrior, left palm up, and then exhale, windmill down, and pause in your lunge. Take a breath back into your Plankasana. Exhale, lower to Chaturanga, or drop the knees for kneeling plank and lower all the way down. Upward facing dog or Cobra. And exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Come all the way into your back bend. Even drop the head back if that feels good. Exhale, return to Samastiti. Inhale, reaching up into far-reaching mountain pose. Exhale, step that left foot back into Warrior One. Breath in here, opening hips and shoulders down the long side of our mat into Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, right palm up, reverse warrior. And then exhale, back into Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, coming into our side angle, either right hand to the ground or right forearm rest, and left arm is going to take that long, strong reach. Good. Exhale, back to Warrior 2. Inhale, take your reverse warrior, and then come down into your lunge. Pause for a breath, and then come right back to your plank or your kneeling plank. Exhale, lowering halfway down or all the way. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog or Cobra. And exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog, or rest in your child's pose. Let's take 3 breaths here, either in down dog or child's pose. Again, reminding yourself of your intention for your practice. Let your head drop out and shake the head. Relax the jaw side to side. Let go of anything you need to let go of. This is the perfect time for releasing. And the universe is going to keep encouraging you and encouraging you and encouraging you to let go of all that stuff. So don't carry it into this new year. Sweat it off. Breathe it out. Release it out. And call in whatever you're calling in right now. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in half. Bend your knees. Reverse swan dive. Reach all the way out and up. Optional back bend. And exhale, return to Samastitihi. Top of our mat, feet together. Moving through Surya Namaskar. Again, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, right foot steps back, warrior one. Inhale, opening into Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, left palm up and reverse warrior, opening that left side body. Inhale into Vira 2. And then exhale, coming into our side angle. Any variation of your side angle. Inhale, back up, use your root lock. Exhale, back, hold your warrior 2. Inhale, take a little reverse warrior, quick left hand to the sky, and then windmill all the way down, hands framing the foot. Pivot your heel into, and then step back, plank. Breath in, bending just the elbows. Try not to come too low. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, look front. Exhale, jump forward, hands, feet between the hands. Inhale, lengthening, hands to shins. Exhale, folding in half, deep forward bend or partial forward bend. Reverse swan dive when you're ready, all the way into that back bend. And then exhale, right to our heart center, hands return to Samastitihi, feet together, top of the mat. Inhale, reaching up, bless you. Exhale, left foot steps back, Virabhadrasana 1. Opening into Vira 2 on your inhale. Right palm up and reverse warrior. And then exhale, back into warrior 2. Coming into our side angle. And hold that nice long angle for 1 breath. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Inhale, take a reverse and windmill down. Find your lunge. Step back, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Upward facing. Exhale, adho mukha. Downward facing. Inhale, right foot lifts to the sky, opening the hip into three-legged dog. Exhale, kick it up and set it down. Inhale, lift that left, bend the knee, open the hip. Kick it up, and then exhaling it down. Pausing here in downward facing dog, you can move through your vinyasa or you can move into child's pose for a few breaths. If you're moving into child's pose, just hold there. You can also move into hero's pose and take a moment just to grab a drink. Few breaths here, either flowing or holding. If you're moving into hero's pose, I invite you to sit down between your heels. You can sit on your blanket or your block and settle your tailbone down so it's grounded into the earth. If it doesn't reach the earth, set a prop underneath your tail. Ground through your hands. As you come into hero's pose, let's meet here. Make sure you stay hydrated, so grab a drink. And placing the hands on the thighs, take a moment to find a focal point. Tapping into our breath. If you feel like you have to lean forward or back to get into your hero's pose, then you probably want to use a prop. So Katrina's going to demo how to use your block underneath your seat. You want the sitting bones just to drop down on either side of the block and your tailbone to ground down. And that way you can have a little bit more comfort on your ankles and your knees. So as we tap down, again, focus on your intention. Excuse me. Focus on what you're releasing. And then bring in that feeling that you're creating. Whether that's feeling of peace, serenity, grace, truth, harmony, balance, joy, all those wonderful things, all those signs of the spirit, the signs of source, tapping that in and bringing that into your practice. Go ahead and move back into all fours, moving your props out to the side. Take a few breaths in cat and cow. So chakra vikasana, rolling the hips and shoulders, just kind of integrate some of that sun salutation that we did, and breathe. Inhaling into cow, lift the heart, lift the tail, open and look up, and then exhale, round the back, curl the head and tail and squeeze out all that breath. And just moving and rolling those shoulders open and back and forth, and then exhaling it out, and then just really squeeze it out and curl and just roll those hips. This is kind of like the Nawali Kriya, and so I'll show you that in a future video, in a future class. But so you can really cleanse out the body. That's why we don't eat right before yoga. And let's come into neutral spine. On the inhale, coming into an active child's pose, we're going to tuck the ball of our foot underneath and push back through our toes, and then reach the hands forward, sit back onto our heels, and let the head relax between the arms. The elbows are reaching forward actively, the hands are active into the ground. And then coming through your turbo dog, using your core as you come up, nice and slow, right into your downward facing dog. Spread out those fingers. If your hands are sliding on your mat, make sure you have a mat towel, which makes a big difference. You can even just use a regular hand towel. And come all the way up. Exhale, lower part way down, coming into your turbo dog. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lower part way. Inhale into downward facing dog. The gaze is between your big toes. Exhale, lower part way. And last time through, inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, look between your thumbs, walk, hop, or jump to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins, lengthening your back. And then exhale, deep forward fold, or you can just grab opposite elbows and find your forward fold. You can find a rag doll. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Uttanasana. Soften the knees, reach all the way out to the side. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come to our heart center and sit down into chair. Knees and heels are even with each other, right beneath the hips. Breathe here. On the exhale, we're going to twist to the left, keeping the knees even, and drop your right elbow either on the inner knee or the outer knee. Breathe in here. Sink your hips down a little lower. Exhale. Inhale here. Squeeze those knees and ankles together. And then exhale, option to open the arms and fly. Breathing here, twisting toward the left. Exhale, squeeze it out. Even up those knees, even up those ankles. They want to have kind of a little race there. Inhale, untwist. Exhale, back to your chair. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And take your back bend. And then returning to Samasthiti. And let's come into mountain pose. Just shake it out. Just release that. Nice deep twist. Inhale all the way up. Reach the sky. Exhale, hands to come to heart center and come right down into your chair again. Just like you're sitting in a little kindergarten chair. You're not sitting in a bar stool, ladies. Come on. Yes, there you go. Now bring the ankles and knees in toward each other so you're pulling everything into the midline of your body, and twist to the right this time. Left elbow is going to drop either to the inner or the outer knee and try to lock it in there to the backside of your tricep. Now you can even take a fist with your right hand and push down and open that space between the collarbones. Roll your right shoulder, the head of your shoulder, you want it to roll up and out and face the sky. There you go. Now if you can open the arms and fly. And breathe for 2. 1, exhale, return to heart center, back to chair. Inhale, reverse swan dive up and come into your back bend. And exhale, Samasthiti, starting posture. And release to Tadasana, shake it out. Whew. Doesn't that feel good? We're going to do that one more time. Now, if you have a side crow practice, you can move into your side crow. I'm not going to be teaching side crow today, but if you do have a side crow practice, this is a great time to move into your side crow. So you're going to come in and come back to your chair. When you come into your side crow, you're just going to come down and then come in and float. Okay? So if that's part of your practice. If it's not, that's fine. Maybe next year, right? All right, so come all the way up. Inhale, reach into your back bend. Exhale, sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose. Fierce posture, nice, deep, strong posture. Good. Bring your ankles underneath your hips, your knees together. Inhale. Sink a little lower and twist and squeeze it out. Now this is a really good opportunity to push down with your elbow against your thigh and then take your fist in your top hand and roll your shoulder. So if your arm is wrenched back like this, you're not in a twist. So you want the center of your sternum to be even with the center of your elbow and roll out through your whole entire shoulder girdle, not just your arm. Exhale, stay there. Squeeze, inhale. Exhale, and come out, and inhale, reverse swan dive up, take your back bend, and let's release right to mountain pose, and just shake it out. Roll it out, other side, reaching all the way up, big breath in, exhale, hands come to heart center, come down into your chair, breath out, inhale, exhale, twist to the right, and drop that elbow down to the knee, push down with your top hand, and then option to fly. Breathe here, pushing down with your forearm against your bottom leg. Maybe take your bottom hand down to the ground and open your palms. Maybe move right into your side crow. When you're ready, come back to your chair. Reverse swan dive up, take your back bend. And back to heart center. For those of you that are watching this on rewind, you can rewind that and move through that a couple times. It's really fun. So coming into your Samasthiti posture, let's take a balancing posture here. We're going to move into Eagle, Garudasana. So Garuda is a bird of prey. I mean, we call it an eagle, but it can be any bird of prey. And so we're going to reach all the way out and open your big eagle wings. Bring your knees and ankles closer in, and we're going to kind of sit down into like a high chair. And then breathe here. We're going to take and wrap our right arm underneath the armpit, hand grasps there, and then the left arm is going to wrap over, and we're going to stack the elbows, one on top of each other. So try to bring your elbows in alignment right in front of your heart. Lift them up. Now that might be enough for your shoulders. If you want to go a little deeper, we're going to just take the hands back to back, and that might be really good right there. And if not, you can even wrap the fingertips and spread out the fingers like feathers. Now we're going to sink down into our eagle. And since the left arm is under, we're going to step our left foot over and touch the toe down to the ground. Now squeeze your knees into the midline right beneath your elbows and sink a little deeper. From here, if you'd like to deepen, you can pick up your pinky toe and push it against your calf, or you can pull your pinky toe all the way out underneath your calf and sink down a little deeper. Open the chest, maybe even look up. If you want to advance your practice here, you can move into a few little core flows. And coming back up. With breath. And take one more breath in your eagle. This is bringing everything back into our center. Find your focal point, release your wings, and step out. And just roll it out, shake it out. How do you feel? Isn't that nice? I know, it's so good for the shoulders, especially if you do a lot of typing and stuff. It's such a great posture. We're going to do the other side. Reach all the way out. This time we're going to sink down into our chair and start with our legs first. Pick up your right heel, and then we're going to step it up and over. Touch down with your toes, and you might just stay there, touch down. Okay, that might be plenty. Squeeze, and sink your chair with your legs, and maybe pick up your pinky toe. If you're feeling not super balanced, just hands can come to the heart, or you can keep them out. You can curl your pinky toe around so that your toes poke out on the outside and sink a little deeper. Now since the right knee is over, we're going to take our right hand under this time, left hand over. And lift your elbows, sink down. Spread out your toes. Option for back to back or wrapping the hands and finding that one focus. This is where we use our Ujjayi breath. Now don't let the elbows collapse down. You want to keep that heart space open on the back of the heart. Spread out the fingers. Option for your core flow. Each side is totally different, so be patient. Couple more breaths here. If you step out, just come right back in. It's only yoga. And releasing out to mountain pose. Inhale up. Exhale, release. And shake it out. Holding Tadasana, lighten your toes. Bring the chin level with the earth. Find a soft gaze in front of you. Take a big reach all the way up and take your back bend. Exhale, forward bend all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in half. Touching the ground, sink the hips down and look forward into a monkey pose. Breathing here, step back into kneeling plank. Hips, shoulders, knees. Come into a plank asana. This is Ardha, half plank. So from here, we're still aligning the shoulder. She, her crown of her head is aligned with the hip. And so she has that nice alignment here. Hold here. Make sure your hands are straight down beneath your armpits. You're not reaching. Belly button drops down. Make sure your hips are not hiking up and your booty's not up in the air. There you go. Use your core. Now lift the hips just a little bit, and we're going to lower the heart center down all the way, like a little caterpillar. Flatten your body all the way out. Taking the hands by the hips, sweep the palms down and fingertips wide. Resting either on the chin or the forehead. So turn the palms to the ground, and then activate inner thighs. We're coming into our locust posture, Shalambhasana. Slight squeeze to the inner thighs. We're going to just come into a partial posture here by keeping the hands out. Either support your hands by pressing into the ground or lift them up, lift the chest, and then lift your thighs and fly. Breathe here. Beautiful. Spread out your toes. Spread out your fingers. Imagine you're just a simple little insect and just kind of turn like you're navigating through the bushes. And just have a little fun just playing with your locust posture, just flying sideways and back and forth and in little circles and just rocking and having fun with your practice. Being so strict and linear is really boring. So let's keep it fun, right? This year for me is about a lot of fun. And exhale, releasing down. And let's turn our palms open. Turn our toes out to the corners of the outside side of our mat and drop the heels in. Just let the shoulders and elbows melt out to the ground. And just kind of roll those elbows out side to side and shake them out a little bit. Yeah. Begin to sway the hips side to side. So this is Makrasana, crocodile. And just resting with your head even, so your neck is in neutral, either on the forehead or on the chin. Imagine you have two little beady eyes on the top of your alligator head, and you're able to kind of skim through that swamp, gazing and checking everything out, being completely aware and tapped in. Coming back for our locust. If you'd like to take your practice up a notch, you can interlock the fingers behind the back of the body. Still keep your neck in neutral, so you're not looking up. The chin remains even with the back of the throat and the front of the throat, and then we're going to lift the heart and then lift the legs. Spread out those toes. Nice. And breathe. As you exhale, allow your body to soften and massage those organs. As you inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Still staying active in your locust. 3. Good. 2. Beautiful. Last one, and then releasing down and let yourself drop back into that crocodile. Swaying from side to side. And go ahead and roll over to your back side and hug our knees into our chest. Apanasana, the downward facing energy flowing down from the back of our body. Move your hair, ladies, if you have a ponytail. This would be a great time to take it out or move any clips that are in your hair. Gently rocking from side to side. And then roll in little circles and massage that low back. Just place the heels down on the ground, knees bent. Reaching the hands toward the heels, setting up for bridge. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Spread out the fingers toward the heels. Elbows are close in by your rib cage. And press the shoulders open and down onto the mat. As you inhale, begin to tuck the pubic bone up. And then roll the mid back up. Roll the upper back up and come all the way up into your bridge. And again, if you'd like to here, you can just interlock the fingers underneath the buttocks. Push the heel of the hand down towards your heels. And then lift your pubic bone a little higher. Notice if there's a space between your shoulder blades. Relax your shoulders. And then make sure there's a space underneath the back of your neck. Enough so much that one of my teachers told me one time you could just place about half of an apple under there. So the neck is not flat on the ground. Breathe here. If you'd like to extend, left leg, and then bring it down, and extend right leg, and bring it down. Big inhale, lift to the pubic bone, and then exhale, lower the upper back, the mid back, the low back, and then hugging the knees into the chest, gently rock, side to side. Let's take our palms over the side, palms down, and knees and ankles stay hugged in, and just twist the knees and ankles out to the right, and roll the head, neck, and shoulders out to the left. Spread the arms wide like a big T, and let the knees come all the way out to the side. If you have a block or a blanket, tuck it underneath your knees. Bring some props underneath your legs so you can twist a little deeper. Go ahead and grab your props. And we're going to be here for just a moment. So begin to straighten that bottom leg, and then take the prop and prop up your top knee. Maybe tuck your toes, like hook it around your back of your calf a little bit even. And your heel can come all the way down to the bottom of your mat, or you can twist it all the way out to the side, like Katrina's doing here. And then roll the palms open. Head, neck, and shoulders roll out to the left as you spin the knees out to the opposite way. Breathe here into your deep, full twist. Relaxing and melting your body into the earth, shaking it out, and just dropping in a little deeper. Big breath in, exhale, squeeze it out. You may even tuck a prop between your knees. That might feel better. I'm going to inhale, come back to center, and give yourself a little hug, knees to chest. And then exhale, drop the arms open wide, twist the knees and ankles out the opposite way. Bring your prop over to the other side, and either tuck it between the knees or beneath your knees. Begin to straighten that bottom leg and roll that top knee up and over and twist a little deeper. And then let the arms drop out, palms up, rolling the head in the opposite direction of the knee. Make sure you have props underneath your legs so that your leg can drop down into gravity. And then let the arms drop out to gravity as well. If the shoulder sits really high off the ground, you can also tuck a blanket underneath your shoulder on that left side, or on that right side. If you have something to cover your eyes, you can go ahead and cover up your eyes. And just begin to drop a little deeper, softening and relaxing. And gently coming back to our center and hug our knees into our chest. Extend the feet straight down to the bottom of the mat, straight legs, and spread out the toes. If you're nurturing your back, just bend your knees like you did for bridge. We're going to come into fish posture. So we're going to take our hands beneath the buttocks and then tuck the elbows underneath your body. Pushing down. Make sure you're sitting on your hands, but you're not lifting your hips up. You're letting your body weight drop down. And then as you release, spread out your toes and push the ball of your foot down toward the bottom of the mat. Push down with your arms and begin to lift up and out and come onto the crown of your head and look upside down. Move your hair all the way underneath you if you have a lot of hair, and that way you can look all the way upside down. Yes, beautiful. Now point your toes. Just like the tail of a fish, spread out your toes like a fin. Again, if you're nurturing your back, just simply bend your knees and come into the same posture. Make sure your hands and your buttocks and your weight is completely grounded. You're not lifting yourself up at all. It's not like bridge. You're grounded down and opening through the heart. Beautiful. Matsyajasana. Now open the mouth and then exhale. Inhale through the mouth like you're breathing through your gills. And exhale. 4 more big, huge breaths. Making an audible sound. Big exhale. Last 2 big, huge inhales through the mouth, out the mouth. big breath all the way into the lungs. And then gently roll out of your fish. Roll the palms out to the side and feel the blood rush into those forearms and into the fingers. And just gently open and close the hands, awakening the fingers. Let the ankles drop open, the hands drop out to the side, and move right into your Shavasana, corpse pose. Allowing yourself to come into a deep, restful sleep state, but a conscious rest. I'm going to guide you through a very simple Reiki session as we end this practice for about 5 minutes. This is not an optional part of your practice. This is really the juicy part that you earn. So let yourself drop into your body and then release the attachment to your body and allow yourself just to connect to the earth. Be completely limitless and weightless as you drop in, down, down, down into the earth. Let yourself soften and completely relax. And then focusing your energy on your root center, the earth chakra, Muladhara. And then tapping from the tailbone down into the earth, just like a little electric cord. You're just going to take that cord and bring it all the way through the bedrock, deep down into the magma of the earth, and just plug right into that earth energy. Begin to draw that energy up through the body, into the sacral chakra, into the watery flow of the creative center. And begin to tap into the element of water, going with the flow in life. Feeling this balance come from the earth into our body, into the sacral chakra center. Pull that energy up into our solar plexus. And you could even let your hands lay on those areas of the body as we move through it if that feels good for you. And tapping into the earth, the water right below the navel, and then into the fire center, right at the solar plexus. Breathing into the fire center. Notice if your fire center is one of your indicators if you're doing too much and burning the candle on both ends and your fire gets too hot and you're anxious and you're not getting good sleep and you're not nurturing your body. Then just bring that down into the water and back down into the earth, releasing the addiction to the cortisol, releasing the adrenal fatigue. Allow that to recharge as you pull energy up from the earth into your fire center. Then begin to pull that energy up into our heart center, into the area of the air in the body. And the heart center has to do with the arms and the movement of the heart. And the back of the heart has to do with receiving. So pulling in earth energy from the back of our heart center, filling up our cup. Feel a beautiful green light emanating from your heart center and around the fire center, around the water center, around the earth center, all the way down through your energy body, past your feet. And begin to pull the energy up from your heart to your throat, enhancing our communication, enhancing our expression of ourself, giving ourself a voice, and giving ourself the permission to use it, or the permission to not. And to continue to grow that green light up through the heart, all the way up to the third eye, filling up the head and the skull with beautiful earth energy, radiating in green and purple and orange and yellow. Just begin to fill the whole entire energy being with this beautiful energy of Reiki healing, pulling it all the way up from your heart and your root, all the way up past your crown center, and feel this connection from the top of your crown all the way into Father Sky. And pull this watery energy in from Grandmother Moon as this partial eclipse comes today. Healing the body with this moon energy, giving ourselves permission to tap into that divine feminine today, and being in that receptive space, connecting earth and sky, father and mother, grandmother moon, to our own moon center. If we're a woman, especially connecting to our moon cycle. And just lay in this space as long as you'd like. If you're on the video, you can stop the video and just stay in your Shavasana. If you're in practice with us, take a moment just to roll onto one side or the other. And come into a fetal position and just hugging the knees toward the chest, resting your head on your bottom arm. Take a moment to think about your intention. Feel that feeling in your heart. Clarify it in your mind. Express it through your voice. And soon we're going to share it on our vision boards. So you may not have a clear idea of what that word is, and you may actually have a very strong, clear word or two. Take a moment to ask your angels, your guides, your archangels, your spirit animals, and your source for what that looks like for you this year. What are you creating? What are you pulling in? How can you connect and resonate and align with your highest self to become the best version of you that you can be this year? When you're ready, come into easy seated. So we'll bring our hands to our heart center. Let's go ahead and end our practice with an Om. Deep breath in. Om. So much for your practice today. So for those of you that are staying, we're going to have handouts here. Take a moment to grab a drink, grab a snack. Head on over to our Facebook page. It's Lisa Ware, Yoga for Love. Just put that in the search bar on Facebook and it'll pop right up. And we're going to go live on that page in about 15 minutes. So make sure you like it so you can actually get notifications when we're live. We're going to go ahead and offer you the downloads for the vision board and affirmation creation workshop. So go to yogaforlove.com, click on the little, right below the header, it has Becoming a Goddess of Vision and Action. Click that, and then when you get to that page, you're gonna click I'm in, and that's gonna email you immediately the link to the downloads. So you're gonna need those for the workshop. You're gonna need some poster board and some glue sticks and some scissors, and your intention. So we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.